Hi guys, welcome to SudokuManiacs. So today we decided to pick up a puzzle from the upcoming Sudoku Grand Prix online event that is being conducted by the World Puzzle Federation on their website. Now the Grand Prix is a series of 8 monthly competitions that take place, and each one is hosted by a different country. And the top 10 players from the cumulative scores are invited to participate in the offline finals, which is held parallel with the World Championship. But this year, with the World Championship getting postponed due to the unfortunate situation with the COVID-19 virus, we do not know how the offline finals of this GP would take. But I'm sure that does not solve us from the joys of solving. So this upcoming weekend, it is being hosted by the German authors and setters. And let me tell you, they are one bunch of talented setters that you have ever seen. Last year's World Championship was hosted in Germany, and it was a pleasure seeing and solving those Sudokus by them. Apart from obviously the joy of meeting the friends after a long time. So if you have some free time available with you, I suggest you definitely give it a try. I am attaching the link to the WPF website in the description below. You can go and register on that website if you have not already done so. And hopefully, I will try to cover more variants from this upcoming competition in this coming week. So if you have not subscribed to the channel till now, I suggest you do that right away. Don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you are notified of new content. So coming back to this puzzle, this is known as a numbered rooms Sudoku. Oops, looks like I forgot to mention the givens, which was simply this. My bad. So coming to the rules, the rules state that no digit can repeat in any row, column or a 3 by 3 box. Additionally, we have some clues on the outside of the grid. What this means is the digit mentioned on the outside of the grid will be placed in the nth cell or the x cell, where x is the number that will come in the first cell of that direction. So for example, if say I had a 3 here, and by solving I could come up with the digit 2 here, what it means is this digit 3 will be in the second cell in this corresponding direction, hence I'll have to place a 3 here. And that is what this rule is. It's very similar to x sums. In x sums, we were taking the sum of the first n numbers where n was the first digit. But here, instead of the sum, we are simply placing the outside clue in the nth position where n is the first digit. Now this is a very new variant, but the moment I laid eyes on it and I was just trying to understand and figure out, there were a few things that came to my mind which I thought I'll share with you. These are small tips that is with regards to this. One being, the outside digit can never come in the first cell in that direction, except the digit 1. I'll come to that later. The reason I'm saying is, say for example, if I take the 6 and I place a 6 here, what it means is this 6 has to be placed in the 6th cell, which would again be here. But I cannot have two 6's in the same direction. So that would apply to all the digits except the digit 1. The 1 can be in the first cell because what it means is the 1 is in the first cell, which is perfectly fine. But that does not mean that the digit 1 always has to be with a 1. No, that's not the case. I could have a 5 here, sorry, which would mean the 1 is in the 5th position and would come here. Right? So this was something that I thought I should just highlight to you. And also, the other thing that I noticed was, except for the digit 1, a digit x cannot be in the xth position. So for example, this 6 can never be in the 6th position, this 9 can never be in the 9th position, because if the 9 were in 9th position, I would again require a 9 here, which is simply the converse of the earlier rule that we saw. Right? Clear? These were the two tips I thought I'll share with you before we go into tackling the Sudoku. So the first thing that I see is the 4 is given here and the outside clue is a 4. So obviously that gives me an 8 here because this 4 is in the 8th position from the right side. Correct? Now when I look at column 9, the bottom row, the bottom clue is an 8. And since 8 is in the second position, this has to be a 2. Clear? Now that I've got a 2, which basically means this 4 has to be in the second position, which places the 4 here. And since I also have a 4 on the outside, it means that from this direction, left to right, it's in the 8th position, so this has to be an 8. Correct? Now that I have an 8 here for the bottom 7 in column 1, the 7 has to be in the 8th cell, right? So this becomes my 7, which in turn helps me place this 6. So this 6 has to be in the 7th position. But I also have a 6 here. So for this 6, this is the 3rd position and I get a 3 here. Good so far? Now that I have a 2 here, when I look at column 9, the top clues, that's a 2, right? So for this, it is in the 9th position. So this becomes my 9. And this 4 will go to the 9th cell in that direction. So again, for this 6 has to be in the 4th. So this becomes a 6. And 3 has to be in the 6th position. So this becomes my 3. But this also is a 3, which is the 4th position from the right. So I place a 4 here. Right? So what I'll do is I'll simply mark these in gray just to notate to myself that I have already taken care of this one. Right? This 6 will be in the 4th position, right? So, sorry, I'll just place a 6 here and we'll remove this. Alright? This 6 has been placed, 5 has not been placed, 3 has been placed, 1 has not been placed, neither has 9, not this, not this, this has been placed, this has been placed, not yet, no, no, no. 5 has to be in the 4th position, right? So this becomes my 5, right? This 8 has been taken care of, this is taken care of, this is taken care of, this is taken care of. I know this is a bit time consuming, but obviously when you're solving on paper, you simply cross it out. This is just my way of notating that I don't need to bother about these outside clues. This too has not been taken care of, this is done, this is done, this is done, this is not done, not done, not done. Alright. Now what next? Let's just see. Now, by classic rules, this is a 4, this is a 4. So my 4 has to be in these 3 cells. But 4 cannot be in the 4th cell, so I know for sure this is my 4, correct? Which basically means in this direction, this is the 5th and the 6th cell. But I already have a 6, correct? So this has to be a 5 and this becomes my 4. So that's one more taken care of. Now let's see. What are the numbers that can be placed here? I can have 9 is not possible because that means the 1 has to be in the 9th place, but that is already occupied by the 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 are gone. So that leaves us with only option 1 and 2. But I can't have a 2 because that would place the 1 here. So this 1 is resolved, correct? Now this 5. Oh, this 1 is already given, we have the clue outside. So this is in the second position, this has to be a 2. So now, which basically means my 1 has to be, by classic rules, 2, 3, right? Which is 4, 5 and 6th position. But I already have a 4 and a 6. So this has to be a 5, sorry. this is a 5, so this will be a 1, and this 1 is in third position, so this has to be a 3. So this also is taken care of. Now for this column, the only digits remaining are 2 and 9, and as we discussed earlier, a 9 cannot be in the first cell, sorry. So this has to be a 2, this becomes a 9. So 9 is in the second place, taken care of, and 5 is in the ninth place, which basically means this 2 has to be in the fifth place, and the 2 comes here. So we have also taken care of this. Good. And this also will be taken care of because the 1 here is in the 7th position, so this becomes a 7. That leaves me with 1 and 6. Correct? So let me just place those pencil marks. Now, by classic rules, 5 has to be in these two, which are the 8th and the ninth cell for this. But I can't have a 9 because of this, so this has to be an 8, and this becomes my 5. And I can simply knock that out. Correct? By classic rules, 5 can't be here, so it has to be either here or here. Correct? But let's see, if I place it here, that would mean the 1 has to be in the 5th position, which would bring it here. But we already have a 1 in the 5th position. So 5 cannot be here. This becomes my 5, which basically means the 9 is in the 5th position, and I get a 9 here. So good progress. Now, by classic rules, 4 cannot be here. This is not a 4. This becomes a 4. That leaves me with 1 7 1 7. Right? But obviously I can't have a 1 here because then the 9 would have to be in the first place. So this is my 7th one, which basically means the 9 has to be in the 7th cell. So I just simply wrap that up. I know I have this dirty habit, you can call it, of marking out stuff, but actually it helps, you know. So by classic rules, 3 3, this has to be a 3. Now in this column, 1 2 3 4 5 7 6 and 8 are missing. Oh, so this is an 8, this is a 6, so this becomes my 1. So 1 is in the first position, perfect, and this one is in the 6th position, and because of this would be the 3 becomes here. Correct? So we have also taken care of these 3, so now we only have these left. And once we have, the reason I am marking this out is once we have taken care of all the outside constraints, then we can simply treat this puzzle as a normal classic Sudoku. Alright? So the first row I require a 3 and a 1. With this 3, this is a 3, this is a 1. 1, 1, so this becomes a 1. So for this one, that is the 6th position, right? So I place the 6 here, and that's done. The 1, this is a 7 and this is a 1 by classic rules. So here I require in the bottom row 7 and a 9. So this is a 9, this is a 7, this becomes a 9. Okay, so 6 is in the 7th place, which would be this cell. 5 is in the 9th place, we already got that, and 1 is in the 3rd place. So now that we have taken care of all the outside constraints, we can ignore them and simply try to wrap it up like a classic. So we have a 3 and an 8 missing in this box. 3 here, 8 and a 3. 1, 2, 3. This has to be 7, 8, 7, 8. 4, 5, 9. 5, 5. So this is a 5, this is a 9, this is a 4. 4, 4. I can't have a 4 here. This is a 4 because this is a 4. So this becomes a 4. This becomes an 8, 2, 9. I require a 7 and a 5, right? 5, 7. And this number would be 3. So I require a 2 and a 6. 6, 2, 8. So this becomes a 7, this becomes an 8. This is an 8. This becomes a 2 with a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9. 9 is there. 7, 9, 7 and a 6. I found this to be a very good puzzle. I mean, the way with just only 5 given digits and just the outside numbers playing around with each other is like unraveling a yarn ball, you see. You just find a loose thread and you just keep on pulling it and the whole puzzle comes. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do like it, share it with your friends, and as I said, the link to the WPF website is in the description. Do go there and check out all the other puzzles in the information booklet. And if you feel you would require a walkthrough on any of the other ones, do not hesitate to leave a comment here. I will be choosing a few of my own, but I would prefer to do a walkthrough on the puzzles that you choose. So, hope to hear from you guys again. Until the next time, happy solving.